Life doesn't give us guarantees. It gives us challenges, trials, and seasons of difficulty. The world has its way of testing us, not always with kindness, not always with fairness. If your mind is soft, the weight of life will crush it. If your thinking is fragile, the storms of reality will shatter it. But if you toughen your mind, if you build inner strength, you become unbreakable. The truth is, no one escapes struggle. Everyone will face betrayal, failure, disappointment, or loss. The question is not if it comes, but when. And when it does, your mind will either fold under pressure, or it will stand tall like steel. Toughness doesn't mean arrogance. It doesn't mean becoming cold. It means being rooted. It means being anchored. It means saying, the world can test me, but it cannot break me. That kind of mental toughness is not built in comfort, but in challenge. Think of the oak tree. It stands tall through decades of storms, not because storms never came, but because every storm deepened its roots. Your mind works the same way. Every challenge is an opportunity to deepen your resolve. The world will throw distractions, opinions, criticism, and sometimes cruelty. If your mind is tough, you'll filter it, learn from it, and move forward. If your mind is weak, you'll bend to every word, stumble at every stone, and give up too soon. The choice is yours: toughen your mind or let the world break it. Choose wisely, because life does not slow down for those who hesitate. Build your strength now, so when the storm comes, and it will, you'll be ready. If there's one truth we must all accept early in life, it's this: life is not easy. It was never designed to be. Life is not a straight path of comfort, convenience, and smooth sailing. It is a mixture of joy and sorrow, of wins and losses, of sunshine and storms. The mistake most people make is wishing for life to be easier, when the wiser path is choosing to become stronger. Difficulties will come. Not because you're unlucky, not because the world has singled you out, but because that is how life teaches, refines, and shapes us. Struggle is not a punishment. It is training. It is the weight that builds your mental muscle, the fire that forges your character, the mountain that strengthens your legs as you climb. And here lies the great secret. The goal is not to avoid difficulty, but to grow through it. Think of a seed. To become a tree, it must first break through the soil, push against the dirt, and reach for the sun. The soil is heavy, the process is slow, but that struggle is what makes it strong enough to stand. Without resistance, the seed would never rise. You and I are no different. Life will put soil on top of us, problems, setbacks, obstacles. But it is our push through them that gives us the strength to grow. When people say life is unfair, they often forget that fairness is not the point. The point is preparation. Life does not give us what we want. It gives us what we deserve through our strength, discipline, and persistence. The world doesn't get easier because we complain. It gets easier because we get tougher. Every hardship carries the seed of growth, but only for the one willing to endure it. The truth is, you cannot control the challenges, but you can control how you face them. You cannot control the wind, but you can set the sail. You cannot control the storm, but you can anchor your ship. This is where mental toughness comes in. The stronger your mind, the less the outside world can shake you. And here's the good news: toughness is not a gift, it's a choice. It's built day by day, habit by habit, response by response. Every time life gives you a difficulty, you can either complain and shrink, or you can rise and strengthen. One choice weakens you, the other toughens you. Over time, these small choices accumulate into a mind that cannot be broken. Difficulties are not enemies, they are invitations. Invitations to become wiser, sharper, and braver. When you face financial hardship, it teaches you responsibility. When you face betrayal, it teaches you discernment. When you face loss, it teaches you gratitude. When you face failure, it teaches you resilience. These lessons are not easy, but they are necessary. And once you learn them, no one can take them away from you. So, the next time you feel life pressing down on you, don't ask, "Why me?" Ask instead, "What is this teaching me?" Don't wish the weight would disappear. Wish that your shoulders grow strong enough to carry it. Don't wish the challenge fades away. Wish for the wisdom to overcome it. That shift in mindset is what transforms ordinary people into extraordinary ones. Remember, the world does not get softer for anyone. Life will test you, stretch you, and sometimes bruise you. But those who grow stronger than their difficulties rise above them. Those who refuse to break eventually bend the world in their favor. And those who toughen their minds learn that while life is not easy, it is always worth living with courage. So let's settle this truth today: life is not easy. But that is not the problem. The problem is whether you will be strong enough. And the solution is simple: build your strength, toughen your mind, and embrace every difficulty as a stepping stone, not a stumbling block. Because the harder the challenge, the greater the growth. In life, the mind is everything. It is the gatekeeper of your decisions, the filter of your experiences, and the architect of your future. But here's the reality: the mind can either protect you like a strong shield, or it can betray you like a fragile link in the chain. It all depends on how you train it. When your mind is strong, it acts as a shield. It keeps out destructive thoughts, it guards you against the weight of negativity, and it helps you face challenges with courage. A toughened mind refuses to let fear dictate its choices. It doesn't allow failure to define it. It doesn't bend under criticism. Instead, it says, "This may be difficult, but I will endure. This may hurt, but I will learn. This may take time, but I will persist." That's the power of the mind as a shield. It keeps you standing when everything else around you tries to knock you down. But when the mind is weak, it becomes the weakest link in the chain of your life. A weak mind is easily broken. It falls prey to discouragement. It is swayed by every opinion, every setback, every challenge. Instead of standing tall, it collapses under pressure. You can have talent, resources, and opportunity, but if the mind is your weakest link, everything else will eventually crumble. Think of it this way: the strongest building doesn't collapse because of the storm. It collapses when its foundation is weak. The same is true with people. The storm is not the real problem, the weakness in the mind is. A strong mind can withstand failure, loss, and criticism, but a weak mind breaks under the same conditions. That's why strengthening your mind is not optional. It's essential. Now, how do you turn your mind into a shield instead of a weak link? The answer lies in discipline and preparation. Just as soldiers train before the battle, you must train your mind before the challenges arrive. You don't wait for the storm to come and then try to build a roof. You build it in advance. Each day you feed your mind with wisdom, discipline, and perspective. You are adding layers of strength to your shield. One way to train the mind is to control what you allow into it. Words are powerful. The voices you listen to, the information you consume, the conversations you engage in, all of them either strengthen or weaken your mind. If you fill your mind with negativity, gossip, and doubt, don't be surprised if your shield is thin. But if you fill it with wisdom, gratitude, and resilience, your shield grows thicker every day. Another way is to practice endurance in small things. For example, when you resist the urge to quit on a small task, you are building mental muscle for the bigger tasks. When you choose patience in daily frustrations, you are preparing yourself for life's bigger storms. Every little act of discipline is like a workout for the mind. Over time, these small exercises accumulate, and your shield becomes unbreakable. And here's the key: a strong mind doesn't mean a problem-free life. Problems will still come. The difference is that with a shielded mind, problems no longer destroy you. They may slow you down, they may test you, but they cannot defeat you. So ask yourself today, is my mind my greatest shield, or is it my weakest link? If it's a shield, keep strengthening it because life's battles are ongoing. If it's a weak link, don't despair. Links can be reforged, chains can be strengthened, and the mind can be trained. Your success, your peace, your growth, they all depend on this choice. If your mind is weak, the world will break you. But if your mind is strong, the world may bruise you, test you, or even knock you down, but it will never break you. So build your shield. Fortify your mind, because in the end, the quality of your life will never rise above the quality of your thoughts. Most people crave comfort. They want life to be easy, smooth, and predictable. They seek convenience at every turn, quick results, effortless success, and the avoidance of hardship. But here's the paradox: the very thing we crave most, comfort, is often the very thing that weakens us. Comfort makes you soft. Challenge, on the other hand, makes you strong. Think about it. Comfort does not demand growth. When you are comfortable, you don't stretch, you don't push, you don't test your limits. Comfort whispers, stay here, don't risk it, don't move forward. And for a while, it feels good. But slowly, without realizing it, you lose your edge. You lose your hunger. You lose your drive. Comfort lulls people into mediocrity. It tricks them into believing they are safe, while quietly robbing them of their strength. Now compare that to challenge. Challenge is uncomfortable. It stretches you. It pushes you to go further than you thought you could. It forces you to face your fears, doubts, and weaknesses. It demands that you rise above your excuses. Challenge doesn't feel good in the moment, but it forges something powerful in you. Resilience, determination, and grit. The things that seem painful at first often become the very experiences that make you unshakable later. Consider the body as an example. If you never exercise, if you always choose comfort, the muscles weaken. But when you lift weights, when you push against resistance, the muscles tear slightly, rebuild, and grow stronger. The pain of the workout produces the strength of the body. The same law applies to the mind and the spirit. Challenges are the resistance that builds your inner muscle. Without them, you stay soft and unprepared for life. The world is not a soft place. Life will test you whether you are ready or not. The storms of disappointment, loss, betrayal, and failure come to everyone. If comfort has made you soft, those storms will overwhelm you. But if challenge has made you strong, those storms will sharpen you. You will bend but not break. You will stumble but not fall apart. This is why the people who achieve greatness rarely have a life of constant ease. They faced challenges. They endured setbacks. They failed, learned, and got back up. They discovered that every challenge was a stepping stone, not a stumbling block. Each trial toughened their mind, refined their character, and prepared them for bigger responsibilities. So here's the question: are you living in comfort or are you embracing challenge? Because the difference determines your future. A comfortable life today can mean a weak life tomorrow. But a challenging life today prepares you for strength, influence, and endurance tomorrow. The good news is you don't have to wait for life's storms to toughen you. You can choose challenge intentionally. You can stretch yourself in discipline, set higher goals, and practice resilience in everyday life. Wake up earlier. Push yourself to learn a new skill. Confront the fears that you've been avoiding. Train your body, discipline your mind, and guard your habits. Each time you choose challenge, you're making yourself stronger for what lies ahead. Comfort will always tempt you. It will always offer the easy road. But remember, this easy roads never lead to extraordinary destinations. If you want to live a life of impact, strength, and resilience, you must be willing to walk the hard road, endure the discomfort, and embrace the challenge. So don't run from difficulty, welcome it. Don't curse the struggle, thank it. Don't fear the resistance, embrace it. Because every challenge you face is not here to break you, but to build you. Comfort makes you soft, but challenge is what makes you strong enough to stand tall in a world that was never meant to be easy. If the mind is the greatest tool you possess, then discipline is the training ground that keeps it sharp, strong, and ready for anything. Just as the body grows weak without exercise, the mind becomes soft and fragile without discipline. Discipline is the gymnasium of the mind. It is the daily workout that builds mental muscle, strengthens focus, and keeps you prepared for life's challenges. Think about a gym. You don't walk in once, lift a few weights, and walk out strong forever. Strength is built through consistency, rep after rep, day after day, week after week. The same is true of discipline. You cannot practice it once in a while and expect lasting results. Discipline is not an occasional act. It is a daily habit. It is the ongoing training that keeps your mind tough and your spirit unshakable. Now, what does discipline in the mind look like? It's the ability to do what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. It's showing up when excuses whisper in your ear. It's choosing focus over distraction, patience over impulse, and perseverance over quitting. Every time you make a disciplined choice, you are training your mind, just like every repetition in the gym strengthens your muscles. Without discipline, the mind drifts. It gets carried away by emotions, temptations, and distractions. A weak mind says, "I'll do it tomorrow. I don't feel like it," or "this is too hard." And soon, those small excuses pile up into wasted years. But a disciplined mind says, "Do it now, whether you feel like it or not." That's the mental gym at work. The beauty of discipline is that it compounds. Small, consistent actions practiced daily create enormous strength over time. Reading for 15 minutes a day sharpens your knowledge. Exercising self-control with your habits builds resilience. Sticking to your goals when it's inconvenient creates toughness. These small daily workouts may not seem dramatic in the moment, but they build a fortress of strength that protects you when real challenges arrive. Consider how athletes train. They don't train only when a championship is scheduled. They train every day, preparing for a future that may not yet be visible. That's how discipline works in life. You don't wait for the storm to strengthen your mind. You build discipline daily so when the storm comes, you're already prepared. Another truth about discipline is this: it feels hard at first, but it gives you freedom later. A disciplined person has more freedom because they are not enslaved by bad habits, distractions, or impulses. The undisciplined person may feel free in the moment, but eventually they pay the price through regret, lost time, or missed opportunities. Discipline may feel like a burden today, but tomorrow it becomes your greatest reward. And discipline is not limited to grand gestures. It's in the small, simple choices: waking up when the alarm rings instead of hitting snooze, choosing the healthy meal instead of the unhealthy one, saving money instead of wasting it, focusing on your work instead of scrolling endlessly. Each small decision is a workout in the gymnasium of the mind. Each disciplined act makes you stronger, sharper, and more prepared. So the challenge is clear. Don't neglect the training. Don't let your mind grow weak through laziness or neglect. Just as the body crumbles without exercise, the mind breaks without discipline. Train it daily. Feed it with wisdom. Stretch it with challenges. Strengthen it with daily commitments. Because when the pressure comes, and it always does, it's not talent, luck, or comfort that will save you. It's discipline. It's the mental strength you built in the quiet moments when no one was watching, through daily choices and consistent habits. Discipline is the gymnasium of the mind. The more you train, the stronger you become. And the stronger you become, the more life's challenges become opportunities instead of threats. Everywhere you go, people will have something to say. Some will encourage you, some will doubt you, and some will criticize you for reasons they themselves may not even understand. That's human nature. The question is not whether people will form opinions about you. The question is whether you will allow those opinions to live inside your mind. Opinions are like arrows. If they hit your shield, they bounce off. But if you open the door of your mind and let them in, they can pierce your confidence and break your spirit. Words only carry the power you give them. A strong mind understands this truth. The voices of others are just echoes, not commands. Why do people's opinions hurt so much? Because we mistake them for truth. If someone calls you unworthy, you begin to wonder, maybe they're right. If someone mocks your dream, you ask yourself, maybe I'm foolish. But here's the reality. What they say is a reflection of their perspective, their insecurities, and their limitations, not your destiny. Their voice only becomes your reality if you give it permission. Think about the greatest achievers in history. Almost every one of them was doubted, criticized, or ridiculed at some point. Inventors were told their ideas were impossible. Leaders were told their visions were unrealistic. Dreamers were told their goals were too big. If they had accepted those opinions as truth, they would have abandoned their journeys. But they didn't let those voices inside. They kept their shield up. And because of that, they changed the world. Here's the secret. You cannot control what others say, but you can control how you respond. You cannot silence every critic, but you can choose not to let their words live in your heart. Your mind is your fortress. Guard it well, because once negative opinions take root, they grow like weeds and choke out your confidence. Now, this doesn't mean you should ignore all opinions. Wisdom is found in feedback. Growth often comes from listening to correction, but there's a difference between constructive feedback and destructive criticism. Constructive feedback aims to build you. Destructive criticism aims to break you. One deserves attention, the other deserves rejection. A wise mind knows the difference. So how do you keep opinions from breaking you? By strengthening your identity and your purpose. When you know who you are and what you stand for, other people's voices lose their power. Their words may sting for a moment, but they cannot sink into your heart. Confidence is the shield that deflects doubt. Clarity of purpose is the anchor that keeps you steady when the winds of criticism blow. Another key is to remember this: people's opinions are fleeting. Today they may cheer for you, tomorrow they may criticize you, and the day after they may forget you entirely. If you build your life on their approval, you will constantly rise and fall with their moods. But if you build your life on values, discipline, and vision, you'll stand tall no matter what they say. At the end of the day, you are the one who must live with your choices. No one else walks in your shoes, fights your battles, or pays the price for your decisions. So why let someone else's opinion dictate your destiny? The opinions of others only have as much weight as you give them. The truth is, simple opinions are like shadows. They can follow you, but they cannot define you. They may distract you, but they cannot destroy you unless you let them inside. Guard your mind, build your shield. And remember, your destiny is too important to hand over to the careless words of others. So walk with confidence. Listen with wisdom. Filter what comes in. Because in the end, it is not the opinions of others that break you. It is the permission you give them. And you, not them, hold the key to that door.